Hello everybody, how is it going? And welcome to the Cajun Guitar Gear Podcast. I'm going to be your host, Mr. Lucas LeComte. And I put on my contacts for you guys today if you are watching, because I'm probably going to go to the gym right after this. So put on my contacts for you guys so you can see what my face looks like without glasses. And I put on my good shirt, if you can dress up for special occasions. Speaking of special occasions, let's jump right in because we're about to do one of my favorite things that I've done since we've been on this podcast, and that is making fun of Gibson, because Gibson just launched the Jimmy Page and Gibson 1969 EDS 1275 double neck. So this is Jimmy's famous double neck he used on tour when Stairway to Heaven came out. You have a 12-string guitar on the top, and you have a normal 6-string on the bottom, and it looks like an SG. And I'm not a fan of SGs. If you are, I am sorry, but the SG is just one of the weirdest guitars ever made. And now they've made 50 of these, right? And you may be asking yourself, why are we making fun of Gibson for this? You remember the whole Greenie incident, how they had some for $30,000 and they're basically collector's editions? Well, take a wild guess how much this one is. Well, you probably won't because it's going to be in the actual title. This guitar is $50,000. They made 50 of them at $50,000. So I did the math, and that's $2.5 million. They're trying to make $2.5 million from these guitars. Gibson is a joke at this point. They've already had this guitar launched. They made a replica of it, and you could get it from Sweetwater for like $8,000 or so, which, okay, I can stomach that. That's still a lot, but I can stomach that. This is 50 grand. They basically made this into like a collector's edition for this guitar. It's basically what they're doing. Gibson has not been innovating in years. All they're doing is just recycling all their old stuff and re-releasing it at higher prices. Is basically what they're doing. They're kind of doing what Hollywood is doing, just remasters. Well, the video game industry is doing that too. They're remastering a bunch of things and they get really lazy with it. And a lot of the movie industry is just doing reboots and some sequels. And I feel like this is technically a reboot and it technically is a sequel for Gibson. So look, if you look right here, 50 grand for this. Now, let's look with the case candy. Does it show the case candy here? No. Let's jump over here. You have to order this straight from Gibson, right? You have to call and order it. I don't think there's any left. It's launched on the 14th. They're probably all sold out. I'm filming this on the 17th. They're probably all sold out by now. I would watch this video, but this video is dumb because it literally says nothing. Jimmy just talks about all kind of random stuff, and then he tapes some pics to the back of the guitars. And this is the case candy. You get a fly, you get a little thing. Like, you get a strap for 50 grand. Does Gibson think that people who buy this are like just gonna like keep it and put it on a wall or keep it as an investment piece? Because essentially that's what Gibson is these days. They essentially just sell stocks and collector's items. That's literally all they do. Because like I've said before, this is just basically a reissue. Now this is cool, but I don't know many musicians, much less guitar players, who can afford to drop 50 grand on an ugly SG looking double neck thing. Now, if you're a fan of Led Zeppelin, this thing is really cool. You can play Stairway to Heaven, you can play some 12-string parts, acoustic sounding parts, and you can play normal stuff on the bottom. But people who buy this are probably not going to use it. I don't even know if they'll play it. If someone spends 50 grand on this and like keeps it out and plays it, they're freaking awesome. I don't even really know what to say about this because it's getting to the point where Gibson is conditioning me that they're just going to do this now. I guess they're just completely out of ideas and they're just 100% going after, as people say, like the dentist and doctor market. That's 100% what they're going after now. Like collectors and everyone else, and like, most normal musicians, they're just like, yeah, whatever, we're not making that much money off of you, so we're just gonna go full ahead of steam with our clientele. They're just going after their super rich people. I'm kind of rambling, and little side note, I'm not knocking people if you're rich. If you're rich, that is very good for you. You've worked very hard for it. It's your money. You can spend it however you want. I just think this is ridiculous. This should have at most been $10,000, pushing it to 15. But it's like Gibson just keeps one-upping themselves. It's like, oh, we had Greenie. We just did a reissue of a really famous guitar. Let's charge $30,000 for that. Oh, one from Jimmy Page. Let's do it for $50,000. And Jimmy looks so pretentious in these damn photos. He just annoys me. I don't know. I literally don't even know what to say. I don't know what else to say about this. Gibson is ridiculous. Like, this is literally just 100% a cash grab. They're trying to make $2.5 million this way. How about you just make good guitars that a lot of people will buy? I understand the guitar industry is in a very tight spot and spending has been reduced, but this is like counter to literally all of that. Like, it's hard for people to sell their used guitars now at the guitar shops. I watched a whole video on that. That was very interesting. Parts of the gear industry are starting to collapse, and Gibson's like, hey, who wants a $50,000 SG? Anyway, I'm gonna move on from this because Gibson's pathetic. They really are. It's pointless and it's stupid and it's dumb. Moving right along before I just keep rambling. Speaking of people putting out cool stuff, Boss just launched the Boss Katana Go, the mini guitar head amp, and we're checking it out on Sweetwater. By the way, if you would like to buy one of these, a Katana Go, if you look in the description, I have my Sweetwater affiliate link. I get a tiny little kickback from that, and I put that back into the channel so I can keep making good stuff for you guys. Only advertisement I'm going to do. Because once again, this is 100% unsponsored. 100% unsponsored. You plug this in, and let me go through the picture right here. You have a tuner on it. You can, it shows you the charge. You turn it on and off. I have a stage fill thing, and you can use it for headphones, and you can also plug it into your computer and use it as an interface, which is really, 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 really cool. I know I said last week that I wanted one of those Pod Go's. I feel like this Pod Go Express, this is Boss's kind of response to that in a weird way, because it's around the same price. Now they have a lot of the stuff built into the software. It's not so much out on the interface. So like you can plug it in, and I'll show you, we're going to watch a video from Leon about it. You can plug it in, you can change all the stuff on the actual software. You can connect it to your like phone or tablet. I think you may be connected to your computer too, if your computer has Bluetooth. And you can configure all the stuff. It has like 4 or 5 amps in it. It has some pretty cool effects. You can make it an interface, record it right into your DAW. It's basically made, what this is basically made for, it's basically made for if you want like some silent practice. It's basically made for like headphones. But I really like the idea of this. What sells it to me is it's an audio interface. So you can literally plug that in, you go on vacation, you can plug it right into your computer. If you have like a riff or something you want to record, you can record. I think maybe you could technically stream with it too. If you're like on vacation and you want to do a stream, I don't exactly know how well that would turn out, but you could. I think it's really awesome. So let's look at Mr. Leon Todd with it, and he's gonna jam on it. See, it sounds really good, doesn't it? And then he goes in here and he dials in some tones. Let me try and get to a point where he like plays. I know he does some. I'm just gonna like play it a little bit.
A pair of EQs, a noise suppressor, and then a pedal effects. You can hook up a wireless pedal, whether it's something like a generic MIDI pedal or it's one of the Boss wireless pedals on there to control that effect on there. Furthermore, there's a built-in tuner that you can get access to over here, and you can change between a bunch of preset effects chains on here. You can see at the moment I've got the boost and the mod before the amp, then everything else is after the amp. There's a bunch of different variations on there. It's not a freely movable grid on there, but you know, for something that fits in your pocket, I think there's a pretty good selection of options there. So let's just go back to the amp, and I'll let you hear where I've got this dialed in at the moment. You know, the gain is cranked right up, and I'll let you hear it with all the effects. I'll take the effects off, we'll come back and just play around with the main amp modes. This is a PRS SE DGT.
As you hear, it sounds really good for something to fit in your pocket. Let's listen to some clean tones. It also has a stage fill settings. Basically what this is that you can like affect where like the sound's coming from. You can mess with the guitar position, so it kind of makes you feel like you're on stage, and you kind of get the feel of like how you're playing. So I guess if you want to use it on stage, you can do that. This does so much stuff, and I like the fact that they're offloading so much of it onto like the software, which is both a good and a bad thing. I take it that this is meant to mainly be used like at home and stuff, so it's kind of cool that all the stuff is on the software. And then Leon go over some more stuff with, you can have like the phaser and the auto wah, and this is actually really cool for the price. It's very cool. Like my Johnson J station I got back like in the early 2000s, like it did a lot of this, but it was mostly physically on the hardware unit, so it was like around $200. But it's nice to see that they're kind of offloading all of the stuff to the software, so that kind of keeps the price down on it. I think this is really fantastic. You can't go wrong with this with the Line 6 Pod Express, or this is like perfect, you know, for someone who like, I don't say a first amp for somebody, but for someone who lives like in a small apartment, or like you buying it for a kid or something like that, this would be absolutely awesome for it. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is going to be some actually kind of sort of uplifting stuff. So our dudes over at Sully Guitars, they are doing a run. It's a Memorial 622. It's like his Strat model. If they're doing 10 guitars in a pink finish, and a portion of this is going to be donated to the Medivivor Metastatic Breast Cancer Research, and he's doing this in his memory of his friend Kathy. So you can kind of get it personalized, and if you've lost anyone to breast cancer or cancer in general, you can get it customized. You can get their names and stuff on it. You can contact Sully if you are interested in this. I think there's still some runs. I think there's still some spots left for this run. This is a really cool thing he has going on, and he's donating it right to charity. I figured I would kind of wrap up the podcast with that. This one's very short today. Not too many gear related things happened over this week. It was my birthday on Thursday, so it is the end of my birthday week. Some good news coming out of that. I might possibly be getting a new guitar, one that I've been searching for close to a year, almost every day on Reverb and Guitar Center. I'll tell you more about that once I actually have it. That will mostly take place next week. And that's going to be it for the podcast, guys. Nice, short, nice and sweet. Thank you for everyone who showed up and listened. I don't care if you listened on 2X or not. Thank you that you're here. Shit, listen to us. I really don't care. As long as you're here. If you thought this was cool, leave me a like. I would greatly appreciate it. There's a lot of stuff vying for your attention and time. You chose to spend with me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.